All right, so for Shira the Sheep 2.1, the warm up, Shira the Sheep loves eating grass. She does not like water. Try to find different inequalities to help to see what happens. So if you put in x is greater than or equal to 0, Shira's not going to be happy because though she got some grass, she got wet. So if we tried it as less than or equal to 0, she didn't get wet, but she did get grass, so she's still not happy because she didn't get it all. And the reason why is because it needs to be x is less than or equal to 10. And you get a little party hat knowing you're set. So we have the edge case. Here's an inequality. 5x is greater than 15. Solve the inequality to help Shira eat all the grass without falling in the water. So we know that 5x is greater than 15. We're going to solve the inequality by dividing both sides by 5. X is greater than 3. And if we put that in, Shira is happy because she got all the grass. Next slide. They don't give you the graphs this time, so we have to just use the inequality that they give us. Sketch the solutions to the inequality on the number line, enter the solutions below to help Shira eat all of the grass. So we're just going to solve it. 11 is greater than or equal to 2x minus 5. I'm going to add 5 to both sides, giving us 16 is greater than or equal to 2x. Going to divide by 2. 8 is greater than or equal to x, or x is less than or equal to 8. So we're going to put a closed circle and an arrow going to the left. And now we're going to put that in. And we're correct. So just remember before we continue that if we ever have to multiply or divide by a negative, you flip the inequality sign to make the inequality true. So here's our example, multiplying, dividing inequalities by a negative. Solve the inequality 12 is greater than negative 3m. Step 1, solve for m. You're going to divide by negative 3, which we do here. That's going to give us negative 4. That's going to give us m. Step 2 is reverse the inequality. So rather than greater than, it's less than. When multiplying and dividing by a negative number on both sides, reverse the inequality symbol. Next slide. We can see that there's a negative in here. This is a negative. We're going to have to, at some point, flip the inequality. Until then, though, we're going to solve and see what the inequality is that will work for this answer. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. Gives us negative 6x is less than 60. Divide by negative 6. That means leave me with x. That's going to leave me with negative 10. And because we divided by a negative, I have to flip the signs. So it's going to be an open circle to the right. Let's see if we're right. And we got it. Let's try another one. We have negative 5x plus 2 is less than or equal to 12. Going to subtract 2 from both sides. Negative 5x is less than or equal to 10. Divide by negative 5. We get x, we get negative 2, and we have to flip the sign. So that's going to be greater than or equal to negative 2. See if we're right. On these ones here, you're going to do, you have to get 5 correct before you can move on. So that's going to be on you to do. Help Chloe now. Chloe is solving the inequality. 25 minus 4x is less than 1. When she solved, she got x is less than 6. Convince her that it is wrong. So let's try to solve it ourselves. So when I see this here, I know I can rewrite this as plus negative 4x. So the inequality can actually be negative 4x plus 25 is less than 1. I'm going to subtract 25 from both sides. That leaves me with negative 4x is less than negative 24. Divide by 4, or rather negative 4. And I get x, and I get 6 as Chloe did, but I think Chloe forgot to flip the sign. So the answer actually should be x is greater than 6. So Chloe has to remember to flip the inequality sign whenever we solve and have to multiply or divide both sides by a negative. So let's go to our synthesis here. We're going to graph this and explain how we can determine the graph of the solutions up to any inequality. So to graph the solutions we need to solve, we know it's negative 3x plus 4 is less than or equal to 19. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Negative 3x is less than or equal to 15. Divide both sides by negative 3. X is going there. Negative 5 is going to go here. And then I just have to remember to flip the sign because we divided by a negative. I'm going to place my circle on negative 5. I'm going to make it a closed circle because we need to include it. It is greater than or equal to. So that means closed circle to the right. So what are our two things? Or how do we always determine the graph solutions for any inequality? 1, solve the inequality like it is an equation to remember you have to flip the inequality sign if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative when you solve. And then 3, graph the solution on the number line. So let's solve this for our cooldown, graph this. So remember, we're going to solve it like it's an equation. -3 greater than -2x plus 9. I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. That leaves me with -2x. And -3 minus 9 is -12. That means now that -12 is greater than -2x. Divide by -2. That's going to leave me with +6. That's going to leave me with x. And since I had to multiply it or divide it by a negative, I have to flip the sign. So the solution for this is x is greater than 6. Which means place the dot on the 6. I'm going to leave it open because we're not including 6, and we are going to the right. And that's our answer.